Aloha and welcome to video number 4, where I'm going to reveal how to ethically steal other people's fan bases. This is by far my most favorite video because it just changes the game so fast. So in the previous few videos, we've talked about 1, the Spotify trap and how to fix it. 2, how to build that fan funnel. And then 3, now we get to fill that funnel. Like, how are we gonna get those fans inside of our fan funnel so we can start making money and growing our email list as soon as possible? So the very first thing that I want to clarify is, this is not the most popular opinion, but you will see what I mean in just a minute. This is what I've always believed, and this is what I think. That as musicians, we are not in competition. We are not in competition whatsoever, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. So I want to ask you a question. Or not a question, but take out your phone, okay? Any phone, just the one you have in your pocket, the one you're probably watching this video on right now. You have a phone, right? So how many phones do you use or own? Simple question. Probably 1. And I don't mean the ones that, you know, the old ones you've been collecting and are just, you know, collecting dust somewhere. Like, how many phones do you actually use? 1. Like, you're probably gonna have 1 phone, right? And there are different companies. You have the iPhone, you have Samsung, you have Huawei, you have Google, you have Sony. You have all these different companies who make phones that want you to buy their phone. So in this scenario, yes, these companies are in competition because at the end of the day, they want you to buy their 1 phone, right? These companies are in competition because for the next few years, you're going to use this 1 phone. But now open your music app on your phone. If you're watching the video on your phone right now, then it might be a bit hard. But then just in your head, you might know this. Now, how many artists are you listening to on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, whatever you have? And how many songs and albums are you listening to? Is it just 1? Nobody listens to 1 artist or 1 album or 1 song for the rest of their life. Nobody does that. Like, I'm already sick of the playlist from last week. I'm constantly looking for new music, fresh artists. Maybe that's just me, but I think the majority of people are just sick of the same songs they hear on the radio, and they're constantly looking for new and fresh music. So with music, it's quite the opposite. The more similar you sound, the better, because if you are an R&B rapper and you are collaborating with a reggae artist, I mean, unless this is a really interesting collaboration in a song, those two won't really go together. Like, the likelihood of fans also liking R&B music and R&B rappers also liking reggae is slimmer than if you would collaborate with another R&B artist. Can you kind of see where I'm getting at? Because the fan bases, they're more likely to cross over to the other one because they also like the music, right? So this is what I mean by that. This is you're a musician, you're making music, and you have somewhat of a fan base, right? It doesn't have to be big, just a few people. Even if it's just 10, 15 people, that's still a fan base, right? And then you're collaborating with someone who also has a fan base. Can also be just a few people, doesn't matter. But again, if the more similar you sound, the more likely these fans are going to cross over and vice versa, right? So if you have 15 followers and she has 15 followers and you sound similar, they're gonna be like, oh, cool, like I also like her music, so I'm gonna check him out. And the same thing, and all of a sudden now you have 20, 25, even 30, if all of them listen to your music. Now you've just doubled your fan base just because you've collaborated with an artist that sounds similar to what you're doing, right? Again, if you have an R&B rapper and a reggae artist, the chances of the other, there might be a few who also like R&B rappers, but your chances are just higher if this is also an R&B artist, right? You have these, where it got popular in pop music to collaborate with rappers. So to have like the bridge part be rapped or something like that, or you sing, the verses are rapped and then you sing the chorus or something like that, right? So that would be a collaboration. So we both win, we both grow, everyone's happy, that's great. And also it's organic, right? Nobody pays for anything. That's the cool thing about this entire collaboration, really. So do you know who perfected this method? In my eyes, I mean, I might be wrong, but this person basically popped out of nowhere. Well, didn't pop out of nowhere, but all of a sudden kind of felt omnipresent. Like he was on every single, on every album that was released. He had a song on there, or he was collaborating with someone on it. And for me, it felt like he seemed omnipresent because he was just everywhere, right? And it was Ed Sheeran. And this is why I call this the Ed Sheeran fan growth blueprint, right? Because in my eyes, he did a really good job of perfecting this almost. And I'm gonna prove this to you right now. So I went onto Ed Sheeran's Spotify, and this is what I found. I found 5 categories that he likes to do. He likes to do acoustic piano versions or unplugged versions. He likes to do live sessions, and then like now he's kind of tapping into like different genre and versions of his songs. And that's kind of a new thing, but what is interesting for this, what we're doing right now, are these 2 things, are the features and the remixes that he does with his songs. Now, let's start with features. He has an entire album just with artists that he features. Now, this screenshot only goes to 10 tracks, but you can see here that there are 15 tracks on here. So he collaborated with 15 artists on this album. So just an entire album, only collaborations and features of other artists, okay? So just keep that in mind. But on top of that, here's the proof. Featuring Taylor Swift. Featuring Eminem, 50 Cent, featuring Skrillex, featuring Beyonce, featuring Jessie and Sumnai, featuring Camila Cabello and Cardi B, featuring Andrea Cobelli, featuring her, featuring Paulo Londra and Dave, featuring Justin Bieber, featuring Lucas Combs, featuring Fuduk and Slava Marlowe, featuring Bruno Mars and Chris Stapleton. So the list goes on and on. So I didn't even have enough room for all of the collaborations, so I just kind of smushed them all in here. But a lot of collaborations and features with his songs. But that's not even counting the collabs that he's been on other artists' stuff. This is just, I just went on his Spotify, and this is just the songs that he has been featuring artists on his songs. There are so much more where he is featured in other people's songs, albums, and so on. Okay? And I'm not even talking about the songs that he's written for others. So this is really where he's collaborating, where he's singing on their tracks. I'm not even talking about just writing for other artists, like Love Yourself by Justin Bieber. Ed Sheeran wrote that, obviously. But that's the most common one. But there are many, many, many songs that Ed Sheeran wrote for other artists. They're not even included in this. So as you can see, there are just a bunch. There are so many features on here, I can't even fit them. Okay? So not even counting the collaborations on other artists' songs and writing for other artists. So yeah, and written for other artists. So now let's look at the remixes. I had no idea he did so many remixes. This is ridiculous. So this is, again, an entire album just with remixes. And this stops at 12 screenshots, but it goes up to 14 songs. So do you see, this is just one song. He wrote the song one time, and then there are like 14 remixes of this one song. He didn't rewrite the song. He just like, this is like really like easy. Just have someone else remixes, and then look at the numbers. Obviously these, we're talking millions here because it's Ed Sheeran, but he's tapping into all these fan bases from Lily Baby, Ultimo, Potter Papers. I don't know. I'm not into remixes, so I don't know any of these names. But he's tapping into their fan bases and therefore getting also their streams. And look, like this almost is 200 million streams here. So like this is a decent amount of just a song he's already had out there, and he has other people remix his songs. Like how crazy is that, right? He's not even coming up with a new song, right? So here are the remixes. Again, remixes are also just, I see them just as collaborations with other artists. So again, he has an entire album just with remixes, but on top of that, he has even more remixes of Thinking Out Loud, of Shivers, of South of the Border, of Shivers, of Overpass Graffiti, of again, different Shivers, Photograph, Shape of You, I Don't Care, another I Don't Care, Happier, and again so much more because I couldn't fit them all on here. You know how many fan bases that are? Like Ed is tapping into all of those fan bases with every collaboration he's doing. He's tapping into their fan base. Now it grows a little bigger. Then he taps into that, grows a little bigger, taps into that. Like look how many fan bases those are. Like that is just crazy. That's insane. So with every collab and feature and remix, he's tapping into their fan bases, and that is a lot of fan bases. And those are not even the ones considering he has been featured on, which is a lot, because that's why he seems so omnipresent, because he was just like collaborating with everyone. He's like, yes, 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 yes. And and then he just grew his fan base like crazy. So here's another question. Where do you go when you need groceries? Right? You have your grocery list, you're hungry, you have nothing in the fridge, so you go where? Yes, the grocery store or the supermarket. You're not going to go to the bike repair shop or to, I don't know, the hospital. Everyone's going to look at you weird if you want to go grocery shopping there, right? It's the most natural thing. We're like, yes, of course. If I'm hungry, I'm going to go to a restaurant. If I need food, I'm going to go to the supermarket. You're not going to go out and start growing your own garden. Right? It's like, oh, I'm hungry. I need more groceries. I'm going to go in the backyard, if you even have one, and start growing my own tomatoes and salad. Like by the time that the food is grown, you're starved to death. Okay? So it takes too long. It just takes way too long to grow your own food if you're hungry now. Okay? So we need food now. And this is how it works. You go into the supermarket, you bring your money, you pay the supermarket, and then you take out your groceries, right? It's normal, okay? You're not gonna go in your backyard and start planting carrots, okay? So the golden question is, if we apply this principle, if you own fans, where do you go? To people who already have your super fans. This is what Ed Sheeran did. He's like, oh, yes, this, right? He already went to the people who have his super fans, right? And that's the same thing we want to do too. Yes, you can go and plant your own garden, but it's going to take time until you see the fruits of your labor. So you can go on your TikTok and social media and Facebook and YouTube and start growing from scratch and start getting your fans from there. But it's a lot harder. You're constantly running after the algorithm. You're constantly chasing this virality and trying to get likes and fans that way. So this is the equivalent of growing your own garden. Yes, you can do that, but it is way faster to just leverage someone else's fan base to think about, okay, who already has my perfect fans, my super fans, and then how can I tap into that? Okay, so leveraging other musicians' fan base is way easier than starting completely from scratch, and it's way faster too. So we are leveraging other people's fan bases, other musicians' fan bases by collaborating with them, okay? So this is our supermarket, basically, our supermarket equivalent. So who has my fan base, who already has my fan base, and then I collaborate with them, okay? It's a give and take. They get access to my fan base, they get access to my fan base, okay? It's the same thing of thinking of a supermarket, okay? But you'd be thinking, at least this sounds great, but what if I don't have any fans, like at all, like zero, zip? Well, I got your back. Then you go to other places that, who else has your super fans? Not only other artists and other producers and other DJs, but podcasts. There are podcasts out there that have your perfect customer out there, your super fan, blogs, YouTube channel, email lists. All these other platforms already have your super fans, and you want to tap into that. So obviously you can't swap fan bases, but what you can do is, what they're always looking for is content. And you can give content to them by having an interesting story about how you created your album, or how you're doing things, or interesting story about you. Like, they need content, and in exchange you get access to these listeners, which then become your fans, right? So instead of collaborating fans for fans, now you're like, okay, these people or these podcasts or YouTubers already have the audience I'm looking for that could potentially become my fans. What do they need that I can give them in exchange to be on their podcast and get in front of that audience? Okay, so do you see how this is working? So one, ask who has my dream super fans, and then two, what do they need? Do they also need to tap into my fan base? Do they need content? What do they need in order to get me in front of their audience? Okay, those are two very important questions. So this is basically what Ed Sheeran perfected with collaborations, and especially with remixes. I had no idea until I looked at his profile. And if you scroll down on his Spotify, it's just like remix, collab, remix, acoustic, remix, feature, right? And this is the name of the game, okay? As soon as I collaborate with someone, their fans become aware of me, and my fans become aware of them. It's a win-win for everyone. It's free, it's organic, and everyone is happy. And this is how he's been just kind of grown his fan base, and just do collaborations, collab. Again, we are not in competitions. Actually, the more similar we sound, the better, okay? So there's this concept in this book. It's called Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson. He's the one who, if you remember, exposed me to funnels in the first place. And he's written this book, Traffic Secrets. And on page 75, he is kind of talking about the Dream 100. And he talks about being 3 types of traffic. Now, what is traffic? Traffic are just people that have never heard of you before, okay? How do we get them into our funnel? And so there's basically traffic that you earn, traffic that you control, and traffic that you own. Now, what's the difference, you might say? Well, basically, traffic that you earn is when you work your way in. This is the Ed Sheeran way, right? It doesn't cost you anything, but you need to work your way in, okay? Just because it doesn't cost anything doesn't mean it's just gonna fall into your lap. Like, you gotta work your way in to earn it, right? Then there's traffic you control. It's basically you buy your way in. And I'm going to show you in the Music Business Secrets reward video that you get to unlock once you watch all videos and have done all your assignments. You unlock this video within 5 days. You have to do it within 5 days, otherwise you will never unlock this video. I will teach you how you buy your way in profitably with your fan funnel, okay? So I'm not going to talk about this because I'm going to talk about that in this reward video, okay? What I'm going to focus on is the Ed Sheeran way, which is earn your way in, okay? And then you have the third option is then finally traffic that you own. It's our email list, okay? And that's because we send them to our funnel. We do not, because when we're on a podcast or we buy ads, we send people to Spotify. And as we've went through the math, this will never ever work out because ads cost way more than just $0.004, okay? And so you will always lose this war if you send your people, these new people, to Spotify. But now we're sending them to our fan funnel. So listen to this. Let's say you're on a podcast. You're like, at the end of the podcast, you're like, hey, thank you so much. So, because some podcasts or platforms won't let you plug yourself, but you can give away a gift, right? So you're like, hey, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. As a thank you, everyone, for listening. You can download my hit single Dreamer right now for free. Thank you for listening. Boom, there you go. That sounds way better than, hey, go pre-save my album. Now, you know how it's just a reverse psychology. It's very different for the listener, right? A gift sounds better than asking for something. That sounds a bit needy, okay? Because you're like, hey, you know, do this. And then again, that's how you're now growing your list, and everything you're then making in the back end through the other funnel steps. Guess what? You're dumping it back into advertising, okay? So this is so cool. So basically, once you're on the podcast or a YouTube channel or whatnot, you give away your free gift. Also, when you're buying your way in, when you have controlled traffic, and then because you're using a funnel, you're getting their contact information and you're growing your email list. And then that is traffic that you own. So when YouTube changes the algorithm, or Instagram or TikTok changes something, or if Spotify takes down your music, you're fine because your fan funnel has been collecting the contact information from your fans, and that is the list that you own. That is yours. Nobody can take that away from you, okay? And that's the cool thing about this. So how do you do this? It's just very simple. Get out a piece of paper or get your Notion template if you have that. And I just like to do it in tens, because Dream 100, that sounds a bit much. That's basically 100 people on your list, and explain to you why 100. So you want to have 100 people on your list that you want to collaborate with, people of, if you think about it, who already has your dream fans and dream customers. Those people should be on your list, okay? Because then you get to leverage their audience and you get to grow way faster. You can do it like Ed Sheeran and just focus on like features and collaborators, but he's also on podcasts and stuff like that, okay? Or YouTube channels. So he also mixes it up. So I just like to do it in 10. So 10 artists that you want to feature, 10 artists you want to remix your songs with, 10 podcasts you want to be on, 10 influencers you want to collaborate with, 10 TikTokers, sorry, I have hiccups, and so on. So always just go intense, and you'll see you'll fill up the Dream 100 really quick, okay? Because right now I'm already at 50. I already have half, right? So think about who already has my dream audience and what can I give them? What can I give them? Not what I can take. We want to be a giver, okay? What can I give them to access their audience? So why 100? Because the more people you have on your list, the higher the chances that some will say yes. Because that's just the sad truth. Not everyone will say yes right away, and that's okay. That's why we have 100 people on there, because we just need a handful of people to say yes in the beginning, okay? Don't take it personal and focus on those who did say yes, because here's the thing. Once you start, let's just start with the ones that said yes. Let's say you have 2 or 3 people who said yes. Then you do those interviews, and now you can use them as leverage to the people who've said no. You're like, hey, I know, well, probably don't say that, you've asked before in this, but say, hey, you know what, I've been on these and these and these podcasts. I've talked about this and this and this. Would this also be of interest to you? Because now you're leveraging this. And then they say, oh, okay, yes. Now you have another one. Now you're going to leverage that one and so on. This is what I do for my podcast, for example. I go and get someone on my podcast and then look on Spotify who they've collaborated with. And then I go and say, hey, I know, and then I go to that artist that they've collaborated with, be like, hey, you know what? I had so-and-so on my podcast and we talked about your music just very briefly. Would it be okay for me to have you on our podcast and talk more in depth about your music? Boom, leverage. Then I see who this person has collaborated with. Okay, boom. And that's how I do it, because now I just need one person to say yes. And then once they do, because I'm like, this is a new podcast. I've never interviewed anyone. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, right? And this is how I did it. I just leveraged. I just need to get one to say yes. And then I look who they've collaborated with. And then I just go to that person and then see who they collaborate, then go to that. So in the beginning, you just need 1 or 2 yeses, start with those and then use those as leverage, okay? Leverage is the name of the game. So they're just saying no, not now. That's always what I'm like thinking, okay? So just don't take it personal, focus on those who said yes and then use those yeses as leverage to turn those no's into yeses, okay? This is how I did it with, or how I do it with my podcast. So here's the thing. I do not play basketball. I cannot play basketball. So, you know, anyways, so if you would say, hey, I only have 3 shots to make a point, how likely is it for me to do that? Like, if I only get 3 shots, I mean, I could, but that's a lot of pressure. And the chances of somebody who has no idea what they're doing actually scoring, if I only get 3 chances, is slim, right? But what if I had 100 shots? Would you think that I would be able to score 1 point or 3 or 4? If I shoot 100 times, it's nearly impossible to not at least score once. Even though I have no experience, I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. I'm just kind of figuring it out. And obviously over time I get better, right? And then more at the end, I get more and more points, right? But what do you think? If I only take 3 shots, how likely as a non-experienced person am I to make those points? But now what if I have 100? How likely am I to score? Right? Way different. I don't need a lot of experience. I don't need to get it all right. There's no pressure because I'm like, I have 100. At least one of them on a very bad day will say yes. Okay? And then again, we use those as leverage to turn those no's into yeses. All right, so this is the new way of collaborating. Before, it's been a bit hard to collaborate with others, but this is very new. This OfferLab platform just launched last week. I've been to the online event for the promotion, for the, not for the promotion, but for the, what do you call it? I'm not remembering what it's called, but basically the, well, that it's here now, basically. And I took a look, and it's really going to change the game forever. And obviously Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels created this platform, and he made it for traditional offers and entrepreneurs. But I don't think, and I'm pretty sure that he had no idea how this would actually change the music industry the way we know it as well. Because we have our fan funnel, and oh, here's the thing. Right now, you could only put your own products into a funnel, right? It was nearly impossible when you wanted to collaborate with someone to put their offers into your funnel, and then you would have to decide who would collect the money, and then how you would split it and all that stuff. It was just very complicated. So you just had your own products in your funnel, right? What I just showed you traditionally. What OfferLab does, which is the platform I'm going to show you in just a second. I'm going to log into my account now, and now listen to this. It gives you the opportunity to collaborate with other business owners, in our case, musicians. And now you can, it's like Lego pieces that you can put together however you want. It does not have to be your own music. So if you just have one album out and you're like, oh, Alise, what do I put on the other pages? Well, you just can have just one page and then a thank you page, and you're done. Like, you don't need to upsells. Like, obviously the more you have, the better, because then you can make potentially more money. But if you're like, or I don't have any music out yet, but I want to soon, then that doesn't matter, because you're just gonna leverage other people's music and albums, singles, EP. So now we can mix and match. Now look at this. Now you can collaborate with others. So you can have your own songs if you want, if you have it. But now you can pick other artists that sound similar to you, and you're like, hey, if you love my album, go check out my friend's album, you'll love it. So now you can mix and match whatever you want to do. So you can take the album from somebody else, you can do the merchandise from another artist, and then you could do like a VIP backstage, whatever, from a different artist who's on tour right now. They're like, hey, you know what? This great artist is on tour right now. He has like this VIP experience, or she has this VIP experience, and you can buy it right now. Right? So you can just mix and match and collaborate with others. So now you don't need to have your own music and offers in your funnel. Now OfferLabs makes it super easy for you to collaborate. And this is what happens. So you basically, this is my stuff, right? Then these are other artists' stuff. So if I then promote, so I get the link to this funnel. And then once they opt in to my free single, now it pushes them to the next offer. And when the fan buys, now you both get paid fairly, and you get to decide how much you want to charge and how much you want to pay out. Again, you're kind of acting as an affiliate in this scenario. In the first video, I explained what affiliate is. It's basically someone who's selling somebody else's products and then gets a cut. And then so whoever owns this product gets to decide the price and how much they want to pay out in commissions. So either way, you both get paid, right? And you get paid right away through OfferLabs. So nobody has to, you just connect it and you're ready to go. It's so easy. I'll show you in a minute, okay? So then once they buy this, it pushes them into the next funnel that you've put together, right? And then when they buy, then this artist gets their cut, you get your cut. And once they bought this, now it goes to the last step. And when they buy, you get your cut, they get their cut. Everybody wins, everybody gets paid fairly, by the way. And Offer Labs makes it very, very, very easy to make that kind of money. So let's go back a little bit. And I'll show you how to demo this, because this will blow your mind. Just think of this, what this would do for the music industry. I know this platform was not theoretically made for musicians, but this will change the music industry. Like, imagine if everyone stopped putting their music on Spotify and start putting it in Offer Labs. Everyone, problem solved. Everyone will get paid fairly through their fan funnel, and we would not have to pay for ads because every musician is promoting the other musician. Like, this would be a wonderland. Everyone's problems would be solved, okay? So let's jump into this. So this is the Offer Lab account. Again, this is just launched last week, so this is very fresh. I just signed up for this, and I've been playing around, and it's been really, really cool. So the first thing that you wanna do is you want to go into integrations, and you will then connect your ClickFunnels account. I've already connected yours, but if you have something on Spotify or WooCommerce or something, you can just, it doesn't have to be Spotify, it can be a different platform, doesn't matter, as long as it's hosted somewhere, right? So that's the first thing that you do, and then you're ready to go. You connect your Stripe account so you get paid, and that's it. So then you go into the marketplace, right? And you can go into explore, you can do e-commerce, digital goods, courses, and coaching and experiences, right? And you can grab any product or offer, it doesn't matter at all. So you can go here in the search bar, and I can put in music, for example. Now, there's not too much when it comes to music, but still there are a few of them already here. Again, this just launched last week. This is not even a week old. This is just gonna grow as it goes. So there's like all this AI stuff that I'm not too fancy about, but there's like a mixing and mastering basics class. So if like, hey, this sounds cool, you know what, this could go really well with what I'm doing, then you click on it, and it will take you to the page of this person, to Adun Moseng, right? And there's like a description, and if you scroll down here, it'll say how much it costs and how much commissions you get. This is 75%. This is very high. Like between 30 and 40%, that's a normal affiliate rate. This is at 75%. So here it already calculated what you would earn if someone would buy this through your link, right? So I would make $6.75 one time. There are a few really cool offers. It's usually like platforms where when they bill a recurring bill, then you might also bill monthly, which would be cool because you sell it once and then you make money as long as they use it, right? So this will be a once in a lifetime payout of $6.75 if someone will buy through your link, which is kind of cool. So if you're like, hey, this is something I could use, then it's very easy. Just click on promote this offer. And then obviously, because you don't just want anyone to promote your offer, right? You kind of want to have some sort of control of who gets to promote your stuff, okay? So you just write them a short message and explain this. So, hey, you know what? I really love your mixing mastering course. I have an audience of musicians who would be interested in this. Would you be cool to collaborate, right? And then you say submit request. And then once this person has approved you, then here in your message tab, it pops up. And then you can see here, okay, I have one pending still. Let's maybe here's an approved one, okay? and it will say that it's approved. Once it's approved, this is where the fun happens. So then you go here on selling, and this is very, very easy. So you go here on new funnel. And now, if you have your own offers, okay, let me go back a step maybe. Here, once you create an own offer, right now I don't have one in here yet, but you can put in your own offers that other people now also get to promote once you've approved them, which is cool. So once you've created your offer in here, which is super easy to set up, once it's in here, when you go into funnels, that offer will show up here. You know where it says my offers and then other offers? So if you put in your fan funnel in here, it will pop up here, and then you can just puzzle everything together the way you want. So you put, I'm just gonna, you know, for example, here, this is a book, how to get anything you want. It's only $20. Yeah, I haven't explained what an order bump is, but order bump is just something little that they can just throw in very quickly. So $1 million masterminds, it's only $6. I could now, this would not make sense, but I'm just showing you how easy this is. And then you can use somebody else's offer, challenge secrets, for example. Now it's here's offer number 2. And so on, right? And then you click publish, and then you're done. Your funnel is done. So basically right now I'm just using other people's offers. Just make sure that they make sense. Like right now, how to get anything you want, and then like a challenge secret. Yeah, it's a bit hard. The way I would use it is to have my album here and then collaborate with somebody else who has similar music as mine, and then I put their album or single or merchandise or whatever they're selling as offer number 2, and then you can have either from the same artist something else or whatnot. But basically once you do that, everybody gets paid. And the cool thing is here it says share why visitors will love how to get anything, blah blah. So when you fill this out, you can say, hey, thank you for supporting my music. If you love it, there's other artist, a friend of mine who has similar music that like check out this other music, right? So basically now you're endorsing this next person. So at the top of the funnel, it'll show up. You can add a picture of you, you can add a video. So now it will have the short message above the funnel, which will help and give trust, right? So yeah, this is basically what you get to do. Everybody gets paid. So imagine if everyone just had their album on here and you just get to promote everybody else's albums, grow your fan base, and make money at the same time. Now, yeah, and then you could publish, and now you're live, and it's here, publish. This funnel makes no sense, but it's just to show you what it can do. Okay, I would have to log in. But basically then it gives you a link, and every time you send someone that link and someone purchases over that, everybody gets paid at the end of the day. So this is what Offer Labs does. And again, it's not only going to change the way it's basically affiliate marketing on steroids, but so much better. And if we can use this in the music industry, like, I hope you can like see and imagine what this could do if you have ClickFunnels and you pair it with OfferLab, what this would mean for the music industry. It would mean that everyone gets paid fairly, everyone collaborates together, everyone gets to come together, because I don't know about you, but I feel like as musicians, we're all kind of like fighting for ourselves, like us against the world, it's me against the world. And that can feel very lonely, and that is very, how do I say this, like, just exhausting. And it's just so much more fun when you get to do it with other musicians as well. What if we came together and helped each other out, and then at some point, like, there's this tipping point where if everyone just had their music on there, we would be in a very different world. And that's a world that I want to see. That's a world that I want to fight for. That's why I'm on this mission, to show everyone what ClickFunnels and what OfferLab combined can do. And every musician just put their music into a funnel and onto OfferLab. And so you're like, Alise, but there's no music on here yet. Yeah, so now here's the very, very cool thing, right? So again, here everyone gets paid. People overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. That's a quote by Tony Robbins. And because OfferLab is new, Russell Brunson did something really amazing. It's never been done before. So when you're here in OfferLab and you see this here, refer someone to OfferLab and earn up to 2% of lifetime. So let's say, okay, you build your funnel and then you put your fan funnel here in OfferLab, right? And then you say, hey, you know what? I want to collab with these 3 artists or these 2 artists or whatnot. And you collaborate and you're like, hey, you know what? Here's a fan funnel, put your music on ClickFunnels, and then we will connect on in OfferLab, and then you send them your link. You will make up to 2. So you start with 0.5%, and then the more people you get in, the more you get bumped up. You can make up to 2, and this is lifetime. So every time the person you collaborated with, every time they make money, you get 0.5% or up to 2% of that, as long as OfferLab lives and the person, obviously, right? So let's just, that snowball effect that it has. If you start and you invite 2 other people, just 2, and you collaborate with them and you're already promoting their music, and those people bring in 2 people, and then those people bring in 2, like, can you see how fast this can snowball? Like, you don't need like millions of people on these platforms. To start with 2, collaborate, start promoting each other instead of going on Spotify and sending everyone to your Spotify link. Send people to your OfferLab link, right? And then if the more artists you invite, have them use that link, give them an incentive to do that. And then you get to earn money through OfferLab. You're basically an affiliate for OfferLab in this sense, right? This is where I want to go. This is a world I want to see for the music business. This OfferLab, ClickFunnels alone changed the game for musicians. But now OfferLab gives us the opportunity to come together, promote each other's music, help each other out, grow organically, and make money while we do it. Like, this is crazy. So I basically told you in the last video, if you want my fan funnel with all the workflows, with all the members areas, with everything attached to the fan funnel, so everything just goes right into your ClickFunnels account. If you use my link that I'm gonna put down below, I'm gonna have a link down below. Let's say alisecoa.com/free OfferLab. Okay. Oh, by the way, signing up for OfferLabs is free already. Okay. But if you put in alisecoa.com/free OfferLab, I will send you to my funnel. And then when you use my link to sign up for OfferLabs, I will send you over the link that you can download my funnel, fan funnel, and all the other stuff. Okay? Sound good? All right, so let's get as many people on OfferLabs as possible so we can start making money as musicians together. Stop putting your songs on Spotify, start putting them on OfferLab, because that is what I'm fighting for. I want everyone to get paid fairly, and that's what OfferLab does. It's been a long day. Haven't really slept. If you have a 5-week-old baby at home, you don't sleep a lot. So anyways, this is what I'm fighting for. An offer lab pays out everyone. So you don't have to wait a month or a half a year or, you know, someone to pay you out. Like, offer lab tracks what you're doing and then pays out everyone. So there's no fighting about money or being like, oh, but we agreed on this and that. No, none of that. You import your funnel and then you say how much people are allowed to earn when they promote your music, and that's it. You're done. Okay, so share this with as many musicians as you can. Get them involved. Share this course this with as many musicians so they can learn what it's really about. So they don't, as Snoop Dogg says, they don't have to sit and cry because they haven't figured out the money game. This is how you do it. You use ClickFunnels and Offer Lab in combination, because that will change how we think about the music industry forever. These tools were designed for entrepreneurs, but as musicians, we are entrepreneurs as well. And that's why I call myself musicpreneur, and everyone who joins this will also be a musicpreneur. And so these tools are for us and they will change the music industry. We just need to take the first step and get everyone involved. And again, here, Tony Robbins, people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. So start now and imagine 10 years from now. So see this as your wake up call, your starting point, and be like, and then look back in 10 years and be like, I'm so glad I did this. And I got everyone involved. Even if you just get 2 people on Offer Labs and you collaborate with each other and promote each other, right? And then they get another 2 and another 2 and so on. In 10 years, this could be a very different world. And music, there is money in music. You just need to know how to go about it. And these are the tools, how to do it. All right, so your assignment, as always, you've already watched the video from beginning to end. Congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the shoulder and answer these questions inside of the community under assignments. What was your biggest takeaway, and what is your biggest concern and challenge while watching this video? And if you didn't have any, just say, I don't have any. When you do that, when you watch all 5 videos and do the assignments to every video, it will, within 5 days, it will unlock this reward video that I've been talking about nonstop. So basically, in this music business success reward video, I'm going to teach you how you can make $4,000 a month recurring, predictable income with only 500 fans, and how you can then put that on steroids with paid traffic that you can get in for free. All right. I'll see you in the next one. The next video, we're gonna put it all together. Right now, it's kind of feel like all this information overload, right? You just learned a lot in these few videos. And in the next video, we're gonna put it all together. We're gonna be talking about the 3 pillars of the business skills that you need to know in order to grow your music business. If you don't have these 3 pillars, you either don't have a business, you have a not profitable business, or a successful business. So depending on how many pillars you have, that will make a huge difference. So I'm going to talk about these different pillars in the next one, putting everything you just learned together. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.